are. We are Christ consciousness beings. We are pure, crystalline, beautiful light beings living in a nearly ascended state in a dimensional aspect that we can actually have access to now because the new earth has been born. Before, leading up to this, all of the spiritual work we were doing, we knew that it was accessible. And sometimes you could have a really big aha spiritual moment and you could poke through and you can have an experience where that that is it. Wow, that's who I am, and all of these things, and it kind of weave through your purpose in this lifetime. But they spoke of this, tremendous, distortion and abuse of power, which created this massive fall in human consciousness. And also, through these traditions, many of these traditions will say that there was recorded ancient wisdom, the ark, the fountain of youth, the Holy Grail, many things speak. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth. You'll hear of ways that this knowledge and this wisdom was retained and captured. And when you do this work enough, you can also remember that this beautiful light consciousness, and then also access to all of these dimensional aspects of you that retain all of these wisdoms and these ascension codes and light codes, that there are you, that you have participated in storing in these beautiful light grids that are available, light consciousness grids that are available. So when the earth was stable enough and able in an energetic frequency to hold the new earth frequency, that you would be able to retrieve this wisdom, and you would be able to anchor in this ascension energy, essentially bringing back up the frequency and the consciousness of yourself. And as you know, when one light ignites, it lights thousands and thousands and thousands of lights. And that's not even coming close to what it actually is. So each one of us are in our own way an activator, an anchor, a way shower, a wisdom keeper, a light bringer, a grid guardian. There's many different functions. Yes, we are, Terry. We are, absolutely. We are. And we are being called to awaken. I know that you are all having ascension symptoms. I know it's all happening to you. I know fatigue and sensitivity, and then warping of time, instant manifestation, things that are popping in. You can see that the 3D grid that we're living in, it flexes and it glitches and it does all sorts of things when we bust truth, because we are making the bridge into the new earth frequency where we have all of these gifts. We have gifts that we are to download. We have frequencies that we're to download, and we're here to help. We're here to help all of those that you're connected with, and all of those you don't even know that you're connected with. Because when you become that light, and the frequency that we are is so powerful, it's so beautiful, you become this magnificent light for thousands and thousands and thousands. And those that you're influencing, you in turn influence their sphere of influence. It's absolutely incredible. And so throughout my history of working with the Lemurian crystals and doing this ascension code retrieval work, um, I've just been receiving, the gorgeous grids that are existing, within our sphere of what we call Earth. So there's the Earth, grid that we live on that is rapidly being ripped away. It's transforming, and that's where all the chaos and the pain and all the noise is. But it's not real. Unfortunately, our many of the people that we love are really anchored in that. And the more we become activated, the more we can lift them into the other dimensional ways of existing, where they can have instant miraculous healing of all sorts of disease, spontaneous, conditions, chronic issues and so on and so forth can be miraculously healed with vibration and with the increase in the anchoring in consciousness. Also, what gets when we anchor into these higher vibrations, because we're in this oneness energy, we get lifted into this unity consciousness energy. So does poverty. We no longer struggle with money. We no longer struggle with how we are making a living. And whatever it is that is our heart and our longing, and whatever it is that we're doing in the world, that's our gifts. And we begin to accelerate that and be able to make money with that. And the type of abundance that is beyond, comprehension, because then it's shared with everyone. There is no concept of, this polarity type of consciousness. So all of these things, begin to fade away. So we can retrieve Lemuria. Many of us, hold a cellular and a memory inside of our being. We are crystalline beings. And from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, we retain our Lemurian consciousness. So yes, Lemuria, the 3D version of Lemuria that is anchored to the consciousness of man that fell, did was destroyed, and many of those light codes were transported interdimensionally to fifth dimensional cities like Telos and Mount Shasta, and then also in crystalline temples that exist in the ocean. There are so many beautiful crystalline temples and light temples within the beautiful ocean of the earth in multidimensional spaces. And so, even though that was technically we experienced a tragic loss, actually Lemuria was not lost. The consciousness and the Lemurian consciousness grid exists. We can travel there. Light family, Lemurian light family is there. I believe that's what the guides have in store for tonight. That's going to be really amazing and beautiful. And we can receive, the light codes, keys, experience, wisdom, memory, whatever it is that is igniting what we need to bring forward into the world. We also, so around the same time, we can't really speak about time when we're speaking about these ascended consciousness states. Existed also Atlantis, and Atlantis was miraculously beautiful and beyond comprehension, was a golden consciousness, beyond compare. Lemuria, I really like to say, was our perfected, or is our perfected divine feminine aspect. But the way it's perfected is because it is balanced with the divine masculine. And so our divine feminine is really expressed very beautifully by the Lemurian consciousness. And then the Atlantean consciousness is really the golden age. Humanity is shifting out of, their 3D matrix, and then the new earth frequency will be very similar to the golden age of Atlantis, but now balanced with the Lemurian consciousness. And in it too, even though there was the really terrible destruction in Atlantis, the crystalline grids of the earth that were so freely available to everyone, free energy, and everyone was one being along this Atlantean consciousness grid. Um, it it was distorted by power and by corruption, and it's um, it's has a very deep cellular and then also visceral memory, and we are really living the echo. Right now, we're living the echo of the fall of Atlantis. That's what the Matrix is. That's what the 3D is. And right now, we're at a very similar state on the Earth. We're at a very similar state to the fall. But what's different is after the fall of humanity's consciousness, there was beautiful unity consciousness grid, a golden grid of light that was built by all of the light beings, all of the star beings that came vastly from uh, distant galaxies, all of the star beings that, for those of you that work with them, all of the ascended masters, and then many of you in your higher consciousness states had a part in creating this unity consciousness grid. And it wasn't completed until several years ago. So, and it's just now humanity's getting to a state where we're able to actually access that unity consciousness. And that is where the new earth frequency is. So we're bridging light consciousness grids. We can travel to the Atlantean light consciousness and you can experience your Atlantean consciousness. It's beautiful. It's beyond beautiful. Will look similar to something, behind me with all of this beautiful light city. And these states of consciousness existed for we can't even really comprehend the amount of time because it's really outside of time. But the reason that you want to really access these states of consciousness is for your wisdom keys. Is every time we visit these conscious states, especially when we do it in groups together, we as a group are anchoring that light, and the light beings who've assisted us in our spiritual journey thus far are they are so grateful and they are so in joy and they have so much love for you because we've made it. We've made it to this point where we can now consciously receive and we consciously know that we are now erecting the light bridge. We are the bridge. I know each and every one of you that's on this class tonight and your beautiful path. You do such amazing work. They want to ignite that work. They want to really bring all of that forward. And then also for you to receive all of those pieces that you of your power that you haven't received yet, that are still waiting for you. And they're still waiting in these higher consciousness states. So then when we bring these things back, they are integrated into our being. And, we're receiving those. And what happens is, is it's been beyond, magical and things that you can't really describe to anybody that doesn't understand, within our circles. Lots of time bending, lots of, sometimes it feels like, you can see timelines that are closing. You can see timelines, higher timelines that are available that you're anchoring. It's just amazing. And so many of the star beings, light beings, all of the light councils, they need us to do this work. They live, they are existing completely in these higher states of consciousness. They need us. We are the bridge. And the bridge is the sacred bridge because that's the way that the rest of humanity ignites is through us, is through the bridge. So I was inspired to make this community. And I throughout, gosh, it's been almost 2 decades now of spiritual work and at least 15 years that I've been doing Lemurian work. And I was so drawn to work with these crystals. I was just a crystal, just, I mean, crystals were always my life since I was very little. But, when I moved here to California 20 years ago, I, I was fascinated. There's a store in Laguna, it's called Awakenings. And if you live here, you would know it. And I found this Lemurian crystal and it was so expensive for me at the time, but I just like, what is this? What is this? And it literally changed my life and it began to teach me how to use it. And then all the beings started coming in and then they wanted me to teach a class and it's funny because Alice will remember, some of the earlier days. They were giving information and then I was teaching the class and I was showing people how to use the crystals to access these consciousness. But we could make it to this consciousness, but we couldn't quite, it wasn't integrating yet because it was working on a deeper level, but everything's changed. And last year was the big burning down, the big shedding of the snake, right? We're in the year of the fire horse now. Last year was the big shedding. That's the big shedding of that 3D matrix, right? And you could still, it's still burning, right? Still burning. And, the fire horse now is ready to take off and really galloping forward with that new earth energy. And we're right behind it. So now we're able to actually physically anchor all of that light that was available before. So, um, I will be doing the New Earth Awakening Ascension and Mystery School is an inspiration from these collectives of light. So from the Lemurian Light Council, from the Atlantean High Council, from ancient Egyptian, especially Thoth, Tahuti, and then some of the other Egyptian light beings, many of the star beings, and then, of course, the crystalline beings also. And I'm working with everyone, especially my Japan group as well. I just remember when we go into groups together, we're all there. And I can see that we've been doing this, for our soul's history. And we are a soul family and a light family. And we have these keys and codes. So I'll be doing workshops and especially within the school, they're really tailored to help assist you specifically to retrieve the wisdom keys and codes that you need that are going to support your building of your bridge or whatever way that is that you're doing. I mentioned many other ways that the guides told me that this gets expressed. And so it's activating you and it's also then making it a very real, visceral, tools that you can use for manifesting your gifts. You all have gifts that you're supposed to be using. And some of you are already using that, but they want you to accelerate that. And then there's also tools and light tools that you're supposed to be bringing in from these other dimensional realms that are then integrated and then they're used. So, and it is much more powerful to be able to receive this in groups. The group energy, when we're all together, it's so much more powerful. We're so much more receptive as our light family when we connect in this way to be able to receive. And so the workshops and the classes are really designed for not only the tools, the wisdom, the tools, the anchoring together as groups, and then individual integration. Um, I can access, the guides and then give guidance, on maybe things that they're wanting you to focus on or things that they want you to move through. So it's different for each person. But I am launching my first Lemurian wisdom class that's coming up on the 7th, and it's a workshop. So it's a hybrid workshop. So you could attend it in person and you can also do it online. So we'll have an in-person group and an online group at the same time. And I've done that before and I love it. And it works and it's fun. And, the guides are very much supporting that format. So that's the first one. So that'll be the first wave of the Lemurian light codes. I have the information on my website. I'm going to share my website. I just started really populating my website. So it is under construction somewhat, but it's functional. I'm uploading the new videos, but group events and classes, if you go to the services section on there, on my website, you can see the workshops that I got coming in are the Lemurian Wisdom Keys and Codes workshop. That's coming up on the 7th. And it's also, I have it on Facebook as well. Oh, you might have to go to the website because my thing is getting cut off here, but you will be able to experience the downloads and then also the integration work and then very real tools, to be able to integrate and use these frequencies and then these codes that you're getting. So this is coming up on the 7th of next month. And then this is all the things that we'll be doing. It's going to be amazing. We'll be utilizing different crystals. So if you're a crystal, if you have many beautiful crystals, you would want to bring them to the workshop or have them, available. I'll also be using the new frequency Lemurian crystals that are coming in that really support anchoring the new earth energy. They're amazing. Tonight, I believe I'm going to use one of the original Lemurian, crystals that have like um, the more feminine looking appearance. And there's a pre-registration discount if you're interested. If you sign up before the end of the month, then it's $89. And then after that, up until the day of the workshop, it's 111. There is limited space. So if you're interested in that. And then I also am going to be doing later on in the month, this is going to be really powerful workshop. I get so much amazing information from Atlantis Ascension Wisdom and Keys workshop. So this of the Atlantis workshop will be just a couple weeks afterwards on the 21st. So again, it's a 4-hour workshop with a lunch. So it's actually 2 hours and then a lunch and then 2 hours. And again, this is a hybrid workshop. And what's really amazing about the Atlantean work, I love the Lemurian work, and I think this journey tonight is going to be really beautiful. You're going to love it. But these really go hand in hand because we are, we have a lot of Atlantean trauma. We all carry it. Humanity carries the Atlantean trauma. That's what's going on with all of the polarity and all of the abuse of the earth and the abuse of technology and all of these things. They're a result of Atlantean trauma. So we all individually carry it. And then Atlantean trauma from, the destruction of Atlantis, as I mentioned, is recorded in all of, in most spiritual traditions, you'll hear about, floods and and earthquakes and things like that. But the Atlantean trauma, the end of that really ripped a dimensional hole, in the earth. So it ripped a hole in all of the light grids, and that's why humanity's consciousness fell. So it's deeply embedded, and it's taken humanity this long to ascend and build their way back to a point where we're able to, make a different choice. And we are making a different choice. So Atlantis isn't happening again in the new earth. And many of us are transitioning out of that consciousness, and we're bringing everybody with us. And so the good thing about the Atlantean work is that, however the trauma is showing up in your life, for some of us, it was poverty consciousness. If you're struggling financially, the Atlantean, this will certainly help. There's a great amount of cellular residue, that exists, and it's part of your soul's essence and your purpose to clear and heal this, and we're helping to heal it for the collective. So, or maybe it's showing up as shattered relationships, or heavy relationships. And I've spoken with a lot of, you know, um, people on the spiritual path, especially women that have been gone through, really toxic relationships, very deep, heavy, narcissistic or abusive or whatever relationships. This is Atlantean trauma. So, I mean, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. You can, when you work on this piece, and you're retrieving the authentic piece, which is your purely ascended Atlantean consciousness is the divine masculine. And the divine masculine is so beautiful and so kind. And really, the divine masculine yields to the divine feminine, but it has so many beautiful qualities. It is really divine mind. It's amazing and magical and beautiful. And so it does heal, and it heals so many conditions, health conditions, and those types of things. So even if you feel like, a lot of people say, oh, well, I can't really feel Atlantis. Well, yeah, because most of humanity blocked it out. And we do that very well, but in this class, we were able to transition out of that, and it's going to be amazing. So, and the classes will continue. So there's new, so I obviously can't fit all of this work into one workshop. These are these are going to be like the foundational workshops, so, and then, this, I know that this work is so transformational, and because we're getting together in group, and the light family, and all of us are coming together again, we're able to access more of it. I know we're undergoing such a spiritual and psychic change as a result of this work that we'll be doing together. Um, it's like all of it. It's like, giving, 100 espresso shots to your spiritual work. It's really like a dose of rocket fuel or something, you know. But it's just there for us. And, I know that after, especially over the holiday period, I was in such, transition. I was in such the void from, the 3D consciousness, and not quite, anchoring, the new earth frequency, very, very consistently, that it was very disorienting. So a lot of the downloads and things that we do stabilize us and ground us, so we can hold that higher vibration when you're out at the grocery store or driving your car or wherever you are. You are this beautiful light. And because you do that, you're attracting relationships of other spiritual seekers who can complement your business. who can bring forward new clients to you, who can accelerate what you're already doing, then all of a sudden opportunities and abundance and these things start to flow with you like magic, because it really is, because you're living in that higher frequency where everything's already one. It's already one frequency. And when you're living more in it, then everything it's there. It's instantly manifested. So it's very beautiful. And so I will be working with the Lemurian crystals. And today, as I was actually, I did a Japan free class on Friday, and it was really beautiful. There was 30 of our Japanese friends on there, and we're also building a light school, a new Earth Awakening school in Japan, a new one. And wow, that their trauma is very, and is very sacred. They and they are really our brothers or sisters, because they live across the ocean from us. And it's funny because Hawaii is right there, which is remnant of Lemuria. And we all, have this really deep connection there. And so it was just really beautiful. But I started to get the download that we're to do, a Lemurian journey. So we're going to use Lemurian crystals. These are the new silver Lemurians that are coming out of Bahia. There's in Brazil. Brazil is where most of the Lemurian crystals were found. The the traditional Lemurian crystals are more, they look very feminine, and some of them they start to look pink, and they will have the lines, the ladder, the barcodes or encodements. I know I keep flipping in and out here on my screen, so it's easier to see on the other one. This one I will probably use for our journey together. Um, but the silver Lemurians, they are so strong. And, if you haven't worked with the Lemurian crystals before, the striations that are on the side of the crystal, these lines on the silver Lemurians are really strong. They are dimensional doorways. So they are not only encoded information, they are light consciousness that has been the frequency, the light consciousness has been, I, I don't want to say slowed, but it's been materialized in such a way that it crystallizes. The light beings have shown me how we encoded the crystals, but these are also living beings. The crystalline devas help us with that. But the lines of light here are dimensional access. So they will, when you rub on the lines of light, if you have your Lemurian crystal with you and you're holding it, I like to put them at my heart area. And so we can all do this together, because I know we all got crystals, and so you can have your crystal with you. And then so and I'll just wait a moment so we all got it. And so you put it on your heart area, and don't do anything with it yet. If you have already, it's fine. But just put it on your heart area, and then you just take a few breaths, breathe light right through the crystal. It helps if you have your feet on the floor. I'm going to do that so I can ground myself. And just breathe the light in through your heart, in through the crystal. And then just feel it moving into your heart. You should feel a really beautiful expansion, such a beautiful, soft energy. And now, if you rub on those lines of light a little bit, you can up or down or back and forth. and breathe. And then you don't have to continue rubbing, but stop and then breathe and notice the change. And you can just try it. So it's almost like turning on a light switch, or sometimes it's like a surge of energy. You'll feel the frequency maybe change. And when you feel it change, just kind of lock into it with your heart energy. And then just keep breathing. And then as you're doing that, just bring that whole crystal right into the center of your heart. It's moving right into, it's etherically moving into the center of your heart. And once you can feel the etheric crystal inside of your heart, you can take your crystal and put it down at your side, because I get tired holding the crystal at my heart area. And you can still kind of rub on those barcodes and feel the crystal inside your heart activating, because your heart and your hand are one. They're connected. There you go. And just feel the crystalline energy in your heart. And I'm calling in all of the crystalline beings, all the devas of the crystals, all the Lemurian guides, guardians, light beings that are assisting us, all the Atlantean light beings, light council, all the guardians of the Lemurian, Atlantean crystals. You just feel this crystal activating. It's so beautiful. Just, you can energetically say hello to the crystal, or just open, sending your love to the crystal, and then just feel sometimes a transmission or a flow will happen. And sometimes you'll feel like waves flowing through your body, or color. And this is the Lemurian crystal just opening you up and just assisting your light body and your etheric bodies, your subtle bodies, all adjusting. And this is really beautiful. And the Lemurian frequency it's a master healing frequency. So it's also stretching your heart. Okay, so just gently open up your eyes. So I'm going to turn my phone on silent while we come back from that for a moment. Otherwise, it'll go off, I'm sure. So how is that? Can people feel that? Is anybody having difficulty feeling that?
It feels comforting.
You can
Uh,
feel it, yes.
yeah,
Yeah, it comes through in waves, Terry. Yes, right.
right.
And then so like a good thing to do, and if you've already been holding the Lemurian, sometimes it'll activate already. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to activate through the encodement on the crystal, but it is helpful to do. So you can try it, picking up your Lemurian, just breathe through it with your heart and then try to activate it. And then you can feel sometimes like, wow, you can feel like it's like opening a doorway and then having the big flood of light coming in. So it's beautiful. So I just mentioned that because we're going to be using that for our journey. So if you have a beautiful crystal that you want to use, and again, you want to be um, in a way that you can ground. So I know that I need to put my feet on the floor. But if you want to lay down, that's fine too. Or if you feel like you can stay, I have many people that have an experience of um, not being able to stay conscious. The energy is so beautiful and it's so comforting, and sometimes it's so high frequency that you'll go into a healing state, and then that's great. But then you come back and you're like, oh, I don't remember anything. I just left. I went out, and that's good too. And sometimes that's what's needed. But so anyway, so we'll take a little journey. You won't be able to hear this, but in the workshops, you'll be able to hear, well, if you're doing it remote, you won't, but you're getting the frequency. So this is universal consciousness frequency. So I'm just going to do this a few times while I call in all of the light beings, and you can have your crystal handy as we journey. So just beginning just to breathe gently into your heart area. Breathing beautiful light in through your heart area. Beautiful light. I'm calling in God, Goddess, Creator, Spirit to be with us here today. I'm praying to be a clear channel for guidance, love, healing, light consciousness, and alignment with the good of all. Calling in all of the guides, all of the ascended masters, all the light beings who wish to be of assistance with us. And calling in all of the Lemurian beings, the Lemurian Council of Light. Calling in all of the Atlantean High Council. Calling in all of the ascended masters, all the star beings. I'm calling in all the Pleiadians, the beings from Sirius, the dolphin and whale beings, beings from Andromeda, beings from Arcturus, Orion, Lord Ashtar, calling in Adama, High Priest of Telos, beautiful, loving Adama, calling in Tehuti, Thoth, beautiful Lord Master Thoth of the Emerald Tablet Codes. Just feeling this beautiful light coming in, all of the light beings supporting you, all around you. And I'm calling in the highest master teacher guides, your master guide, aligned most with your soul's essence at this time. Asking the beautiful master teacher guides to be present, supporting us in this journey. Just breathing this beautiful crystalline light and focusing at your heart area. Breathing that beautiful crystal right into your heart. Again, feeling as you're breathing this expansion, just completely relaxing, allowing the breath to expand your heart. Feeling your heart expanding. Breathing that crystal right into the center of your heart. Just feel this etheric crystal inside your heart as we activate this Lemurian light. And this beautiful crystal, as you breathe, is now beginning to expand with your breath. I'm calling all of the sacred keepers of the Lemurian light, the Lemurian dimension, helping us to access the crystalline frequency and dimensional codes of Lemuria. And this crystalline temple is beginning to form all around you as your crystal grows from your heart. It's expanding all the way around your body. Breathing. This is the sacred crystalline Lemurian temple of your heart. Just allow it to begin to form. So beautiful, so bright. And then the waves of light codes you can feel flowing from the walls of your beautiful Lemurian crystal heart temple. So beautiful and bright all around you. Just feel yourself being transformed. Your light body and your etheric bodies are beginning to expand inside of this crystalline temple as you receive light codes and frequencies flowing in. I'm asking the highest light being, ascended master, master teacher guide that's most aligned with you at this time, to make a very strong connection with you inside of your heart temple. Allow this guide to make a connection, asking them to either stand in front of you, on the side of you, or directly in your energy, so you can feel this beautiful presence of this ascended master or light being that's working with you, aligned on your path, your soul's essence at this time. Feel the love, feel their strength, feel their beauty. I'm asking them to transmit frequency to you, or they may even begin to speak words to you. I'm asking them to make a very clear and strong connection, making any adjustments so you can feel the love. And some of you may see beautiful Adama or Master Tehuti or Kuan Yin or Mary Magdalene or Jesus Christ. Star beings, just allowing this beautiful light being is making adjustments to your energy body that you may better receive all of the beautiful downloads. And noticing as your master guide is making these adjustments, there's also in the front of your vision you can see or sense a beautiful portal of light in the crystalline walls of your temple, your heart temple, or a doorway. Just see this beautiful portal. This is made specially for you with your soul's essence, this doorway leading to the Lemurian dimensional realm of light consciousness you're most able to experience at this time. Just feel your guide. Your guide is helping you, bringing you through this beautiful dimensional doorway. This beautiful, bright, portal of light. Feel yourself moving right through it. Just allow yourself, give yourself permission to fully move through. Some of you may feel very fast going through a portal, maybe disorientation. Some of you may just feel yourself walk straight through it. So blindingly beautiful on the other side. Beautiful golden rays of light all around. Allow yourself to fully begin to adjust as we ask to be anchored into the Lemurian dimension of consciousness that's perfect for you. Some of you might find you in the beautiful paradise, the gorgeous garden, primordial garden of Lemuria with the Lemurian sea. In the distance, you can hear the waves of this beautiful turquoise water. And there are many light beings as you begin to get yourself oriented and grounded into this experience. Just allow all of it to begin to become more bright, more beautiful. Feel the homecoming and all of the beings here, the light beings. They've been waiting for you, and they're assisting you to adjust to this vibration. Some of them might be your Lemurian family. So beautiful. Many of them might be etheric beings, light beings, and even your own form. Notice you may have transformed into more of an etheric being. Some of you may feel taller. Some of you may have very little form at all. It's allowing this to be perfect, and we're being led now. There's a great joy. The air is very sweet and beautiful. You can hear beautiful Lemurian tones, almost as if the atmosphere is vibrating with the highest light, hearing the crystalline tones all around you. It's vibrating. Just feel yourself really receiving all that is here for you as you're really connecting. You might even feel as if you are merging with other beings, merging with the flowers, with the landscape. As we move to the beautiful Lemurian sea, there is a magnificent crystalline temple, beautiful sacred ceremonial temple you can see submerged in the sea. Dolphin beings, you can hear their song. So we're being guided to the Lemurian waters. They're very warm. We're being guided to enter into the Lemurian sea. As you do, again, your form may shift. Some of you may already be within the waters itself, submerged in the Lemurian liquid light of the Lemurian sea. This gorgeous turquoise water and the Lemurian temple. Dolphin beings all around. Light frequencies. Noticing that you can breathe this liquid light easily and effortlessly, and as you do, it is healing. It is flowing into every aspect of your being. Again, transforming you maybe into dolphin consciousness form, mermaid form, light being form, not fighting the experience. Some of you may just be receiving the waves of the energy. And this consciousness is then going to be revealed to you at a later time. Finding yourself now completely within this magnificent underwater Lemurian crystalline temple, this sacred temple, sitting on the Lemurian consciousness grid of light, the walls of this crystalline temple vibrating in beautiful light beings, mer beings, dolphin beings. They're all leading you into the beautiful center of this temple. You can see a crystalline altar. And here your special guide also is assisting as you're now beginning to receive, open to receive, ask to receive the highest transmission of light and wisdom, ascension codes that you're able to receive. Beginning to hear all the celestial music. There's beautiful spirals of DNA light codes flowing in from above. All the light beings, star beings have anchored light codes flowing in all the way into the top of your being, flowing into your body. Just breathing, allowing them to flow through you. If you're having any emotional release, allowing the emotional release. Flowing to any areas in your body that are dense, or allowing these light codes and healing frequencies, lifting away any disease, any pain. Your crystalline DNA beginning to activate. There's a beautiful double helix spiral of light all around you, many of them representing all of your multi-dimensional DNA at this time. So beautiful. Allowing this experience. And your beautiful guide, or one of the light beings here assisting you, has a beautiful message or a symbol or a memory. Some of you may be given full vision or memory here. One of the keys or wisdom codes that you're to receive, essential in the next step on your path. Just allow yourself to receive this symbol or these words or this vision in whatever way, knowing that it is be received by you now. And just receive this and feel it being received into your heart, And it may also be represented by a physical gift that they are giving you that you can receive into your heart, knowing that these are being anchored for you now and you will be receiving them over the next days or weeks. Just feeling the love and the light here for you. Knowing that this is now time for you to return back. And just feel yourself being led by all of the beautiful light beings out of this temple. As we're now beginning to emerge from the Lemurian sea, just feel all of the light as the gorgeous Lemurian sun has begun to set over the Lemurian ocean, and the golden light codes flowing across the Lemurian waters, filling you, activating you. And this beautiful guide now is guiding you back. And just feel yourself almost being transported back inside of this beautiful crystalline temple of your heart. Like being pulled back through this vortex of light or this doorway, this dimensional doorway, but holding on to the light that you received here. And once again, we're thanking all of the beautiful Lemurian guides, guardians, all of the Atlantean light beings, the star beings who are assisting, all of the devas of the Lemurian and Atlantean crystals, the crystalline kingdom, all the dolphin beings, the cetaceans, all of those supporting, and our light being or ascended master, master teacher guide. Just feel the love that this being has for you, for they will be working with you to help you to access and retrieve and anchor all of this that you have received. And so now beginning to see this temple, it's beginning now to fade away, beginning to dissolve. You're being transported back into your chair or into the room where you first began. Just breathe, just allow yourself gently to hang on to the energy, hang on to this light, hang on to this experience. We're hanging on to this beautiful light being that's with us. They're going to assist us with the integration of this energy. So you can gently, whenever you're ready, you can open up your eyes, but just breathe. It also helps if you have some water to sip a little bit of water. But just allow any waving or any expansion or activation that may be happening, just allow it to continue on. And we're just going to weave these consciousness states because the bridge has been created. And every time we shift back and forth from the Lemurian dimensional consciousness to our waking consciousness, we're strengthening that bridge in our own way and different each time. I tried to inhale my water. Yeah, my heart hurts. They've been stretching my heart quite a bit. Those are very big when the crystals start expanding out. It hurts a little bit. How is everybody feeling? So I want to invite um, a check-in, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but you can check in, and if you like, then I will, if I'm receiving, other streams of consciousness related to what you're sharing, I will share. Evidently, there's more coming in because my throat is clearing really in a major way. I love that.